One moment he was there, a face in the crowd, raising a glass to the promise of the night. The bar was alive with laughter and the clinking of glasses, a sanctuary of fleeting joy and camaraderie. Brian Shaffer, a medical student with a bright future, was just another patron enjoying the night, blending seamlessly into the tapestry of human connection. The next, gone. Swallowed whole by the darkness. It was as if the night itself had conspired to erase him from existence. The alleyways, the streets, all seemed to hold their breath, keeping the secret of his disappearance locked away in their shadows. No trace, no whisper, no goodbye. The city, usually so full of life, now felt like a ghost town, haunted by the absence of one of its own. Friends and family were left in a state of bewilderment, their calls and messages met with a deafening silence. This wasn't a case of a few too many drinks or a wrong turn down a dark street. Brian was a responsible young man, someone who knew how to handle himself. He had plans, dreams, and a life that was just beginning to unfold. This was Brian Shaffer, and his vanishing act defied logic, defied explanation. It was as if he had stepped off the edge of the world, leaving behind nothing but questions and heartache. It defied everything. The puzzle of Brian Shaffer wasn't a jigsaw with missing pieces. It was a shattered mirror, reflecting back 1,000 possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. Every theory, every lead seemed to fracture into more questions, more dead ends. A young man on the cusp of a future bright with promise, vanished without a trace. His friends remembered his infectious smile, his professors spoke of his potential, and his family clung to the hope that he would walk through the door any moment. The how was a mystery, the why an even deeper abyss. Theories ranged from foul play to voluntary disappearance, but none could explain the complete and utter vanishing of Brian Shaffer. It was as if he had been swallowed by the earth itself. But for those left behind, the torment was all too real. A constant, gnawing question mark where a son, a friend, a life once stood. The pain of not knowing, the endless cycle of hope and despair, was a burden they carried every single day. Brian Shaffer's disappearance was not just a mystery, it was a wound that refused to heal. It began like any other Friday night, college town buzzing, music spilling onto High Street, the air thick with anticipation. The Ugly Tuna Saloon, a popular student haunt, pulsed with energy. Brian, a charismatic 27-year-old medical student, was out celebrating spring break with friends, his infectious laugh echoing through the bar. The night wore on, a blur of laughter, shared drinks and fleeting conversations. Around 1:30 a.m., Brian, separated from his friends in the crowded bar, was seen on security footage talking to two women. A final chilling image captured him stepping outside for a cigarette, seemingly relaxed, unaware that he was stepping out of frame and into oblivion. The first tendrils of alarm morphed into full-blown panic as the hours turned into days. When Brian didn't show up for a planned trip with his girlfriend, the worry deepened. This wasn't Brian, he was always punctual, always considerate. He wasn't impulsive, he was responsible, the kind of person who would never leave his loved ones in the dark. On the brink of a career in medicine, a future carefully constructed through years of hard work and dedication. As days bled into weeks, the sense of urgency grew. Friends and family clung to hope, but the reality was becoming harder to ignore. The search for Brian Shaffer became a relentless pursuit of a ghost. Volunteers scoured the city, plastering missing person flyers on every available surface. The authorities launched a full-scale investigation, leaving no stone unturned. Meticulously retracing Brian's last known steps, interviewing friends, family, acquaintances, and anyone who might have seen or heard something. Leads dried up as quickly as they appeared, each one a dead end that left everyone more frustrated and confused. Searches of nearby rivers and wooded areas yielded nothing, adding to the growing sense of despair. The Ugly Tuna's security footage, strangely, never showed Brian leaving the bar, a fact that baffled everyone involved. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind no trace, no clue, no explanation. Adding another layer of bewilderment to the already baffling case, the mystery of Brian Shaffer's disappearance remains unsolved, a haunting enigma that continues to perplex and sadden those who knew him. Section 4, the campus and beyond. The Ohio State University campus, usually abuzz with youthful energy, took on a somber tone. Flyers with Brian's face plastered every surface, a constant haunting reminder of the life that had vanished. Theories like whispers in the wind began to circulate. Had he been the victim of foul play, snatched from the crowded bar without a trace? Or had he, in a moment of inexplicable despair, decided to disappear, to erase himself from the life he knew? Each scenario presented its own set of chilling possibilities, none of them offering solace, each amplifying the mystery. Section 5. Whispers in the dark. The internet, a breeding ground for speculation, became a double-edged sword. Online forums buzzed with armchair detectives, each offering their own theories, some plausible, others bordering on the absurd. Was Brian the victim of a serial predator who preyed on college students? Had he stumbled into a world he wasn't supposed to see and paid the ultimate price? The lack of concrete evidence only fueled the rumor mill. Psychics offered their visions, amateur sleuths dissected grainy security footage, but Brian remained an enigma, his disappearance as impenetrable as the night he vanished. Section 6. A family's anguish, a city's enigma. For Brian's family, the pain was an open wound that refused to heal. The days following his disappearance were filled with a relentless search, endless questions, and a hope that slowly turned into despair. Every corner of their home echoed with memories of Brian, from his laughter that once filled the rooms to the small, everyday moments that now felt like a lifetime ago. Days turned into months, months into years, but the empty chair at the table remained a constant, agonizing reminder of their loss. Each meal was a painful ritual, a stark reminder of the void that Brian left behind. The family tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but the weight of his absence was always there, a silent presence that overshadowed every gathering. Their once unshakable faith in the world had been shattered, replaced by a gnawing uncertainty that permeated every aspect of their lives. The parents, who once believed in the safety and predictability of their community, now found themselves questioning everything. Every knock on the door, every phone call, brought a mix of hope and dread. The siblings too struggled with their own grief, each dealing with the loss in their own way, but all united in their shared pain. The city of Columbus, once just a backdrop to their lives, now held a dark significance, a constant reminder of the mystery that haunted them. The familiar streets and landmarks, once sources of comfort, now seemed to mock their pain. Every corner of the city whispered Brian's name, and every shadow seemed to hide a clue that remained just out of reach. The community too felt the weight of the mystery, with neighbors and friends rallying around the family, offering support but also grappling with their own fears. Brian's disappearance wasn't just a family tragedy, it became a collective scar on the city's psyche, a chilling reminder that sometimes the answers we seek remain elusive. The community held vigils, organized searches, and kept Brian's story alive in the hopes that one day the mystery would be solved. But as the years passed, the hope began to wane, replaced by a somber acceptance that some questions might never be answered. Yet in their hearts, the family and the city held onto a sliver of hope, a belief that one day they would find closure. Section 7. The mystery endures. Years have passed, seasons have turned, but the mystery of Brian Shaffer's disappearance lingers, a ghost story whispered in the hushed tones reserved for unsolved mysteries. The case, though cold, remains open, a testament to the enduring hope that someday, somehow, the truth will surface. Did he simply vanish, swallowed whole by the night? Or does a darker truth, carefully concealed, hold the key to his disappearance? Until that truth is revealed, Brian Shaffer's story remains a haunting reminder of the fragility of life, the enduring power of mystery, and the unanswered questions that echo through time.